press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Joining us now for reaction is someone who knows the president, I'd say extremely well. His son, Eric Trump, who's an executive vice president at the Trump Organization. Good to see you, Eric.
Great
How are you?
As always.
You guys have been getting a lot of heat for your brother's travel to India and his business that he's doing there. He gave a speech on Indo-American relations, and you're getting hammered. Bob Menendez, a good friend of yours, I know. He said, I'm concerned that Mr. Trump, your brother's speech, will send a mistaken message that he's speaking on behalf of the president, the administration, or the United States government, not as a private individual, but that he's communicating official American policy. I write to ensure that the U.S. Embassy presence in India will have no role in supporting Mr. Trump or the organization during his time in India. New York Magazine and the rest have nasty comments about this. Is there any conflict there, given the business interests there, and he's speaking on policy? And
what don't we get hammered for? You know, my brother was over there. We have a bunch of buildings in India. He's talking about how the Indian people are wonderful people, and he enjoys his experience over there and everything else, right? And then all of a sudden, you have this, right? I mean, these are the first people to say that the First Amendment should be protected until you say something that they disagree with, and then they try to shred you to pieces. And it's not right. He gave a beautiful speech. He talked about how wonderful the country was. We've been over there for many, many years with projects, you know, and this is the pundits' talking points. But there's very little that we can do that we don't get attacked from. And you were talking about it in your open, and I think you did so very, very beautifully. I mean, there's nothing that we don't get attacked for because, quite frankly, the Democrats don't have their own platform. They don't have their own leadership. They've got no good ideas. They've got no good bench of candidates. They're petrified over what's happening in this country, the fact that people are putting more money in their pocket and all the great things that we talked about before. And so what did they do?
They don't want happy voters. They don't want happy voters going into 2018.
They attack Don. They attack me. They attack our kids. They attack our wives. They attack my father. They attack Jared and Ivanka. I mean, they do anything that they can to undermine our family because it seems like it's the only move that they have.
You have someone internally policing any potential conflicts, correct, in the Trump Organization? Because you're rolling through various levels
and we take it so seriously. We take that exercise so seriously.
Well, you're under the microscope, so you got to take it seriously. The appearance of conflict or any conflict. Manafort today, it looks like Mueller's piling on new charges. The concern is trying to squeeze Manafort to try to expose the Trump campaign in this never-ending investigation. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's interesting with Russia. You know, they kept on digging, and they dug, and they dug, and they finally found themselves, right?
Now it's their tax fraud, Manafort.
I mean, it's really amazing, right? You see how crazy this dossier is, being paid by everybody in government to slander my father so they could investigate him, so they could investigate. I mean, they dug so deep that they ended up finding themselves. And it's amazing how things come full circle. Listen, I was one of the very few people in the campaign. There was zero to do with Russia. You know why my father won? Because he went to Ohio, and he went to Michigan, he went to Wisconsin, and he worked a lot harder, and he had a better message, and he sold that to the American people, and they ultimately wanted a businessman in Washington, D.C., not a career politician. That's why my father won. It had nothing to do with Russians. There were no Russians. I mean, it's a nonsense. This whole thing has been a hoax. And you know what? They caught themselves in the process. And I really hope the Justice Department, I hope they do something about it. Because
is Jeff Sessions doing enough to investigate the Obama administration's involvement with pushing that phony dossier, knowing who funded it, knowing what it was, what was behind it, who was behind it?
Truthfully, I don't know. But I hope he is. I mean, I really hope he is because it's sad and it's disgusting. And I think so many of the facts have come to light. And they're bad facts. And they're bad facts for the other side, and it's deeply troubling, and we better be doing something about it. Otherwise, there's a lot of injustice in this country.
We have a lot of unmasking of American citizens. It looks like was done by individuals, and we don't know on what grounds.
I would love to see the list of who those individuals were.
You might have been surveilled. Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
I really wouldn't be surprised.
Are you happy that you stayed in the business world and didn't go into the administration? People ask me that all the time, but you wish you would. Yeah. And I know I'm doing the right thing now, but you see what your father goes through on a daily basis. He could be doing anything, and he decided to do this.
He's made a tremendous sacrifice for in his own life and for the country doing it. I'm proud of him. Listen, half of me would like to be sitting there fighting by his side every day because that's a family we are. You know how much we love each other. He's my best friend in the world. He's an amazing man. He's an incredible president. At the same time, I love what I do. I love building buildings. I love real estate. And I love kind of covering that flank. So I would love to be there protecting him every day. But he's doing a good job, and he's making me very proud.
You know what I don't like is when people say he doesn't care about the people. Yeah. It was said last week, I think you know by whom. He doesn't care about the blanking people.
He did this for one reason, for the people. for the people because they were being forgotten, they were being left behind. Government was walking all over them, and every single day when I walk down the street, I hear from those people, tell your father we say thank you because he's doing an amazing job for this country, and we owe him a tremendous amount of respect and gratitude, and thank you for taking the punches that you guys do as a family, for each and every one of us. And, that's what makes you keep going.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.